The Rockies are ready for the postseason, and they go on the road against the rival Padres in the NL wildcard game. The Rockies lineup has been hot, and hopefully that carries over into the postseason. Rockies at Padres for the NL wildcard game at Petco Park, and Joe Musgrove takes the mound for the San Diego Padres, while Shohei Ohtani will be on the mound for our Colorado Rockies. Ohtani has 2 on with none out when he strikes out Manny Machado and Aristides Aquino to bring up Jake Cronenworth, who also strikes out to end the inning. 2 gone in the top of the second, and Jazz Chisholm takes one deep to right field, and it travels over the wall for a solo shot off of Joe Musgrove and a 1-0 Rocky lead. Ohtani continues his strikeouts in the bottom half, and Jason Dominguez leads off the top of the third with a no-doubt home run to right field for a solo shot. 2-0 Rockies. Top 4, Polar Bear Pete Alonso rips one out to left center, and that one is not coming back. See ya for another Rockies solo shot and a 3-0 lead. Bottom 7, with the tying run at the plate, Luis Campusano is struck out by Derek Watson in relief to end the inning. Bottom 9, Emmanuel Clase in to close this game out. He gets a lazy fly ball to left for out number 1, gets Matt Beatty swinging through the fastball, and he gets Avisail Garcia on the high heater to complete the 3-0 shutout victory on the road for the Rockies and send them to the NLDS. But who will they play? The Atlanta Braves. It will be the Rockies going to Truist Park to start the NLDS. John Means versus Ian Anderson. In the AL, the Yankees lose the wildcard game to the Angels, who will take on the Astros, while the Rays will take on the White Sox. If we make it through the Braves in the NLDS, we will either face the Dodgers, whom we swept in last year's NLDS, or the Cardinals, who swept us in the NLCS last season. But first, we have to worry about the Braves, who are pretty darn good themselves. It's game number 1 of the NLDS as the Rockies are in Truist Park to take on the Braves. Ian Anderson is on the hill for Atlanta, and he was very solid for them in the regular season. But he doesn't get off to a great start here as Chris Bryant gets a hold of one out to left field, and that 401-foot solo shot makes it 1-0 Rockies. John Means gets a start in game number 1 for the Rockies, and he was the Cy Young Award winner this season. He makes quick work in the first and strikes out Nick Castellanos to end a 1-2-3 inning. The solo shots this postseason continue as Rafi Devers hits one hard to right to make it 2-0 Colorado. Trouble again in the third for Anderson as the Polar Bear gets a single down and left with the bases loaded. That's going to bring home 2 for the Rockies. And later in the inning, they're loaded again for Adley Rutschman to take one down the left field line for a 2 RBI double to extend the lead to 6-0, and Anderson is chased out of the ballgame. With a runner on third in the 4th, Juan Soto hits a double in the gap for an RBI. DeScalfini hasn't had the troubles Anderson did, but he does here with a bomb from Shohei Ohtani for another Colorado Rockies solo shot. Jason Dominguez comes up and hits a perfect blooper to score the 9th run of the ballgame, and Dinelson Lamet is brought in for Atlanta. Juan Soto hits one down the right field line off of Lamet with the bases loaded to bring in 2 more runs. 11-0 Rockies. This game is crazy. In the top of the 6th with 1 out, Devers cracks his second homer of the ball game, and that 12-0 score for the Rockies held true all throughout the rest of the game as Emmanuel Clase takes a break and the Rockies take a 1-0 lead in the NLDS. NLDS Game 2, Max Fried for the Braves and Aaron Savale for the Rockies. It was a true playoff pitchers duel as both pitchers were shutting down the opposing hitters with ease, and through 5, we were scoreless, with both teams only having 1 hit. Fried still on the mound in the 8th inning with 97 pitches, and his 98th is slammed out to right field by Shohei Ohtani, who hits his 2nd home run in as many games, and he breaks a scoreless tie in the 8th inning. Fried is pulled, and Kenley Jansen is in as he strikes out Jazz Chisholm to get the Braves to bat in the 8th. Jonathan Loaizaga comes in and gets in a little bit of trouble, but Casey Golden hits a routine fly ball right to Benny Montgomery who puts it away to end the 8th. Bill Maton comes in and gives his Braves a chance by striking out both Tim Anderson and Chris Bryant to keep the game 1-0 going into the bottom of the 9th, with the top of the Braves order coming to bat. That means school bells ring. It's time for Clase as he strikes out Trey Turner on the high inside heater. He allows a little base hit to Ozzie Albies. He gets Nick Castellanos to fly out to deep center field, and he strikes out Ronald Acuna Jr. on the away slider to close a 1-0 win in game number 2. Very different than game number 1, giving the Rockies a 2-0 lead in the series and a chance to sweep in game number 3. Here we are, NLDS game number 3, the first one at Coors Field, and former ace of the staff, German Marquez, is on the mound. Opposing him for the Braves is Mike Soroka. We scored first in each of the first 2, but Soroka does a great job getting a 1, 2, 3 inning in the first for Atlanta. Then in the top of the second, German was not on the mark as Rhys Hoskins takes him deep for a 2-run shot. And the Braves score first for the first time in the series. The Rockies don't trail for long as Rafi Devers takes Soroka deep in the bottom half with 2 on to grab a 3-2 lead for Colorado. Later in the inning, Tim Anderson smokes one with 1 on and 2 out to extend the lead to 5-2 on his 455-foot bomb. Bottom 3, 1 on, 2 out, and can you believe it? Rafi Devers has another multi-homer game, hitting his 2nd of the day and his 4th of the postseason. That leads to another starter getting pulled for Anthony DeScalfini, who has a 27 ERA. Yikes. The Polar Bear adds a solo shot of his own in the bottom of the 5th to extend the lead to 8-2 Rockies. But you should never get comfortable, and German Marquez got too comfortable, giving up this solo shot to Ozzie Albies to lead off the top of the 6th. And with 1 out, Matt Olson adds another run with an RBI double into the left center field gap. And with runners on the corners, Rhys Hoskins hits his 2nd long ball of the day off Marquez to bring the Braves all the way back to within 1 run. Devin Smeltzer's brought in for the Rockies, and he gets Trey Turner to ground out to first with a runner in scoring position to end the top half of the 6th. And in the bottom half, Tim Anderson ropes one into the right field corner with 2 outs to score both runners and extend the Rocks' lead to 10-7. Matt Olson gets a single down in front of Juan Soto to score Ozzie Albies from second and make it a 10-8 ball game. It stays that way as the school bells yet again ring for Clase time, and he barely walks Nick Castellanos, bringing up the dangerous Ronald Acuna, who hits a deep fly to center that Jason Dominguez is there to get under and make the catch for out number 2. Matt Olson gets his 4th hit of the ball game to allow the leading runner up to the plate. And that runner is Austin Riley, who on a full count chops one right back to Clase, who makes the play and sends the Rockies to the NLCS for the 2nd straight season. Who's going to be the opponent? It's the Dodgers, our rivals who won our division, swept the defending champion Cardinals, and will have a chance to avenge our sweep of them in the NLDS last season. In the American League, it'll be the White Sox who took down the Rays in 5 games, and the Astros who swept the wildcard winning Angels in 3 games. Predictions are welcome in the comments section below. If you made it this far, put Shohei in the comments because he's going to be the Game 1 starter. Thank you to all the channel members supporting, and special thank you to T-Clink24, who's our only franchise quarterback. Much love, FG fam.